Audio check, audio check. All right, good Sunday morning, and Yabba Dabba Doo sports fans. Here we are, Game 3 between your Steel City Selects 14U girls in their traveling blacks with the gold trim, and these Philadelphia Junior Flyers in their orange with the black and white trim. So we've got 3 minutes on the warm-up clock. They have not yet started it, so I'm going to put this thing on mute, and I will be back with you. It just started. I'll let you watch the warm-up, and I will be back with you for the action in 3 minutes. Just doing a quick additional audio check here. I checked it once already. Going to do a quick additional audio check here. Michelle's going to text me in just a minute, and we will be ready for some action. Audio check, audio check. All right, 3 16-minute periods, and then a quick hop across the PA Turnpike back to the Berg. That'll get all of us home a lot sooner than we have been from recent trips, so that's a good thing. Thankfully, there's no Steelers loss to watch today, having lost to their second 2-10 team in a row, the Patriots, on Thursday night, so we won't have to suffer through that indignity this afternoon. We can watch other real NFL games when we get home. So I would imagine, just based on rotation, that we're going to get Kanachi in the net, but we'll see here in a second as the girls get ready. They got the music playing here again, so we'll battle it and mute it out as we go, like always. And we'll give you 3 periods of action here in the series. For those of you that haven't been with us, is 1-1 after 2. So we're going to do the rubber match here this morning. Looks like we're going to start out with Stevens, Klein, and Claherty with Litz and Zivy on the back end. And it is indeed Kanachi at the pipes to my left for this third and final game in Philly against the Junior Flyers. They're going to come into Pittsburgh here in the new year, and we'll play some games in Pittsburgh. And from talking to people over the weekend, if we're fortunate enough to make it to Nationals, we'll probably see this team again. So game 3 here this morning is they're going to skate out now and join our girls on the other side of the line for this game. The good news is there's no sign of the female ref from yesterday, so hopefully we won't have any of those issues like we had yesterday, and we'll get this third game underway as Klein steps in to take this draw. Junior Flyers pull it back. They bring it up the far side there. Zivkovic whacks at it. They skate by her, Litz. They get around Litz behind the net. For the third game in a row, I missed the opening faceoff on the Huddle video. It's becoming a new bad habit. Puck in the far corner. And back out to the point. Stevens pursues. Shot there, missed to the far side, or the near side. Far side for that point player. They continue to battle here in the near corner. Klein in a flyer. That flyer falls down on top of the puck. Klein waits for it to get up. Keeps battling. Got Litz in there battling with her. Now comes out to Clardy. Here she comes. Stevens trailing. Clardy up the near wall. Not going to get the angle on the net. She stops, dances with the puck, loses it in the corner. Sends it out towards Litz, who's heavily covered. Flyers pick it up there. They send it out past Litz. She sends it back in, and Clardy was offsides with 15:02 first period. We get a wholesale change. Looks like Walkoska's coming out here with Makasenko and Mrazek, and Marshall and Howe on the back end. No, Stripes is going to take them to center ice. So we'll line up here for a center ice face-off. Here early in period number 1, game 3. Junior Flyers pull it back, send it up the wall. They chip it past Marshall. It's going to go into the corner. Walkoskis picks it up there. Takes it around behind the net, far corner. Girl heavily on her shoulder. Turnover there as she skates around Marshall. They put it down below the line where Howe picks it up, leaves it for Marshall. Marshall chips it in the corner. Howe down hard. The puck's caught in the netting, and Stripes will blow the whistle. And with 14:39, we'll pick a circle. Looks like he's going to pick the far one. And Flyers will make at least a partial change here. They change the front end. We're going to keep the same players and get a draw to Eves' left. You're right on the screen. And, oops, this Stripes appears to be pretty technical on the faceoffs, too. He drops it. Junior Flyers shoot. Blocked. Shoot again. Eves knocks that down. I'm sorry, Kanachi knocks that down. It's loose in front of her. She can't get anything on it. Back out to the far point. In behind the net now, Flyers reverse direction up the far wall. You got Howe applying a lot of pressure there in that corner. Junior Flyers come out with it behind the net. Walkoskis pressures. And she comes out of there with the puck up the far wall. She's looking for a head pass. Can't find one. Shoves it out of the zone. She's going to take it herself. She's going to come down the near wall clear and look for a pass. Turning, shooting, put it in front for Howe. Couldn't get it there, and the Junior Flyers are going to clear it. Marshall's going to pick it up. She's going to take it back the other way and reset as both teams go for at least a partial change here. Junior Flyers send it forward. It goes in on Kanachi. She golfs it into the near corner where Marshall's going to pick it up. Send it up the wall, but not out as the Flyers hold it at the point. Comes back into the center of the zone, and Junior Flyer picks it up there, comes down the near wall. Shot blocked by Panetta. Puck from Kinger over to Panetta. Panetta bangs it up the wall and out, and here comes King up the near wall. She can't get by the Flyers, and Panetta knocks that one down. Here come the Flyers back the other way. Pete's pursuing. That Junior Flyer player stops, turns, back to the point. Shot from there, knocked down by another Flyer. Puck loose in front, over to the far corner. Kiesel battles along the wall. Kinger looking for an up pass, flips it up to Panetta, but it was misdirected and didn't get there. Peets knocks that down center ice. It's in King's feet. Peets recovers, and the Flyers are going to pick it up, come back the other way as Dahl lost her legs and quickly got back up, and it was enough to let Kiesel get over there and provide some support as Dahl chips at it into the near corner. She turns, takes it behind the net. Around for Kinger. Goes off her stick. They hold it at the far point. King chopping at it. Still can't get it out. And the Flyers are going to poke it in deeper where Peets is going to pick it up behind the net and come up the near wall. Peets in a battle in the corner. Panetta, no, that's not Panetta. That's Kiesel. Now it's Panetta. Panetta up the near wall. Panetta coming in, skating, shooting, missing, near side. Puck behind the net now. Dahl throws it through the goal mouth. It ramped off the goalie to the near wall where Kiesel's going to chop in. throw it down behind Stripes, and Panetta's going to have to go behind the net and do some work. She lifts the stick, but doesn't manage to stop the puck as the Junior Flyers bring it up the wall, chip it by Kiesel, and comes back to neutral. Walkoskis picks it up, takes it back down the near wall. Walkoskis coming through the center, shoots high over the net. She somehow created an angle there and just missed high over the crossbars. Yenny taps it. Dahl holds the point, chips it in. Now Sherwood's beating and banging with a Junior Flyer behind the net. Yenny comes in to help. Yenny comes out of there with the puck. Tried to backhand center, couldn't get it through. Throws it back behind the net. Flyers pick it up there. Sherwood up to the point to Dahl. Dahl back down the wall weakly into the corner. Flyers are going to get there first. They're going to send it back up the wall. Dahl chips it down. Sherwood over to Yenny. Yenny sends it back to the wall where the Flyers are going to chip it by everybody. It's going to go all the way down, and it should be, in fact, an icing. So with 11:30 to go, first period, we'll come back down this end. Looks like Stevens coming out here with Klein and Claherty. Litz and Zivkovic on the back end for this draw in our offensive zone to the right of the goalie. You're left on the screen, and we will see what this line can do. Still early in the first. It goes over to Stevens. Stevens puts it into the center to Litz. Litz back over to Stevens. It bounced over her stick, and it's going to go behind the net where the Flyers are going to pick it up there. Klein digs low and picks it up, sends it up the wall to Litz. Litz struggled to get a stick on it. Did. Stevens was screening the goalie, and I think it just hit one of the bodies. It ended up behind the net. Puck loose in front. Stevens! Stevens bangs it into their left-hand side of the net. Low on the circle. And for the first time this weekend, your Steel City Selects take the early lead. That's her second of the weekend. She had the game winner in the first game, and she gets the first tally here. And for the first time this weekend, your Selects score first. So with 11:07 to go, first period, Stevens gets the first marker. And now the Flyers take that face-off back. Stevens picks it up again, loses it. It's against the wall. Klein. Klein will get there first. Klein back to Litz. Litz shoots. It hit Claherty in the leg. Litz dumps it low. Klein's going to go dig it out. Klein throws it around behind the net. Claherty's going to have to hurry to get there. They beat and bang in the corner. Flyers come out of there with it. Claherty stops it. Back to the wall. Klein. Klein battling. They send it in deeper. Flyers air it up in the air, and that's going to roll. And depending on where it lands, it will be an icing. So with 10:35, we'll come back down here, and I can see that Walkoskis is coming out here with Makasenka and Mrazek. And we're going to get Marshall and Howe on the back end. So we will get all new players coming out here, and I can tell you that they're playing high hopes right now, and YouTube loves to flag copyright violations on this one. So I'm going to have to talk over it until Stripes drops the puck, and he does. The music goes off, and the puck goes in behind the net. I battle them every time behind the scenes as they worry about the copyright violations. Something you guys never see as Makasenka takes it over to the wall, chips it in. Flyers pick it up there in the near corner. They're going to take it behind the net. Mrazek caused that player to stop and turn. They send it up the near wall now. Flyers send it through the center past Stripes where Howe's going to pick it up in front of the Selects bench. She chips it by that player. Mrazek battles. Howe chips it forward again. Flyers pick it up, turn. They send it back the other way, and depending on how quickly that gets there, that should be another icing. With 9:59 to go, first period, we'll come back to this end again for another draw. And we will we'll see who they send out now. We got Panetta Peets. I believe that's Kinger with Marshall and Howe on the back end. And they battle for the puck there in the low circle. Goes in front of the net over into the near corner. Kinger around back. Kinger tried to center for Peets, couldn't get it there. Peets in front, backhand, and Melanie Peets finds the net on a dribbler through the 5-hole. Kinger got it to her that time, and Peets backhanded it through the 5-hole, and that's 2. So your Selects are up 2-0 early on goals by Stevens and Peets, and they're the good in-low dirty kind of goals where they're working in front of the net, and you like to see that. I call them the Hornquist goals. And now we've got Walkoskis, Yenny, and Sherwood out here with Dahl and Kiesel on the back end. Kiesel back to defense as they put Klein back on offense here. Flyers kick it into the zone. They turn. High elbow on Walkoskis. We'll have to watch that situation. Shot. Kanachi got a blocker on that, knocked it below the end line as Dahl jumped out of the way. She realized she was screening her tendy. Dahl battles on the wall. They continue to push and fight there. Walkoskis jumps in. Walkoskis picks it up, chips it off of Sherwood's skates, and it goes down the wall there. And Sherwood, with a nice hustle, just couldn't get there. Yenny, they chip it up. Kiesel. Kiesel throws it in front, hits a flyer in the glove. They're going to throw it back out to the point. They chip it by Dahl, and Kiesel has position on this girl. Stands her up and prevents her from getting the puck. She throws it in front. And Kanachi got a piece of equipment on that, sent it to the near corner. And here comes Walkoskis. You can feel the pace of this game picking up a little bit. Sherwood up the far side. Walkoskis tapping. Walkoskis shoots high over the net into the near corner. Kiesel, Yenny throws it down behind the net where Sherwood's going to go dig. Sherwood throws it in front. Yenny couldn't get a stick on it. And here come the Flyers back the other way. This Flyers team's quick. We don't necessarily want to get into a speed game with them as they backhand it in and head for a change. Kiesel will pick it up. Kiesel up the wall to Yenny. Yenny puts it ahead to Claherty. Claherty up the near wall, dancing, spinning, losing the puck, coming back the other way as that Flyer player fell down. She was with her own player. Litz is going to turn. And it's actually going to be Klein and Zivkovic that are going to battle behind the net now. A Flyer player coming around. Zivkovic's got her well tied up. Be careful there, AZ. As the Flyers come out to the top of the circle, they trade it for the point player who skates it in deeper. They send it around to the near wall. They're going to get there first. And they're going to take it in behind Klein. Klein backhands it around the wall to Stevens. Stevens looking for an up pass. She gets it, does not get it through to Claherty. Looked like it was going to get through there, in the last second it didn't. Let's close down on that player and prevented her from getting a shot off. And there's Zivkovic chopping at it. It goes into the far corner for the Flyers. They're battling along the wall. Comes out to a Flyer. They golf that one over Kanachi's head in behind the net. Flyers near corner. Litz. Oh, she turned it right over to a Flyer. Shot high over the net. She backhanded it, tried to get it to one of our players that ended up on the stick of a Flyer. And now Stevens battling along the wall. Flyers come in, take that out of there. Back to the far point, shot. Bouncing puck, got knocked down, misses to the far side. In behind the net, Flyers up the far wall. We got to get it out. It's been in this zone far too long. They poke at it. Stevens pokes at it, and Stevens gets it out. And now they're going to stop and turn and send it back the other way. Walkoskis has to wait for Stevens to get out. She was skating with speed and got in really deep and prevented us from putting it back in. So the puck goes in behind the net here. Now the Flyers pick it up. And they're going to battle in the corner. Litz is going to send it up the wall. Walkoskis battling. Litz gets a stick on it. Now behind the net again. Marshall providing some defensive pressure. Walkoskis up the far wall. Walkoskis chips, knocked down by a Flyer. She backhands it up the wall. Still doesn't come out. They hold the point. These Flyers are very disciplined along the wall, and we just cannot do the hope and pray clear. We've got to deliberately get it out. Angles and banking is going to be important. Walkoskis pulls a player down. We're going to get a penalty on her as the Flyers cheat in, shoot. That goes to the wall as we touch it up. Mrazek does, and Walkoskis is going to sit for a trip. It's either going to be a trip or a hook. Either way, the player ended up on the ground, and looks might be an interference call. No, I saw interference. I definitely saw something. We'll see what Stripes calls here. Oh, it is a trip. It is, in fact, a trip. He had his arms crossed as he was skating over and looked like he was going to call interference, but it was a trip for sure. So we're going to get Panetta out here with Marshall, Kinger, and looks like Howe to kill this penalty as King blocked that shot. Howe sends it over to King. King chops it out. They battle here in front of Stripes. And the Flyers bring it down the wall as Marshall fell down. She gets back up, shot. Kanachi knocked that down. She's hugging that post. And Marshall backhands it behind, leaves it for Howe. Howe comes around the near wall. Got to be deliberate getting this out as she skates it up to King. King can't get it out. They throw it in deeper. You have to deliberately clear the puck with these teams. They are very disciplined at the points. Howe sends it around. Panetta can't get a stick on it, and they hold the point again. Flyers skating, top of the circle, still skating. Shoot! Missed high over Kanachi. It's loose. In behind the net now, Flyers. They turn on Marshall. Center! Kanachi with a big point-blank save. Marshall battling. They still have that puck. Panetta can't get a stick on it. They have it in the corner. They center it in front. Puck loose. They're battling. They're beating. They're banging. And it's under some piece of Kanachi's goaltending equipment. Might be her backside, quite frankly. Nonetheless, it's not in the net. And we're going to have 30 seconds to go in this penalty to Walkoskis for tripping. So we're going to send out Kiesel, Klein, Dull, and that looks like Pete's to kill off the last 30 seconds of this penalty. As Pete's getting some instruction from the stripe on how to take that face-off. Comes all the way in on Kanachi on a dribbling rolling puck, and she covers it up. And we will do it again. Same players, same circle, different time on the clock. Pete's is going to step in and take this one. Sends it back to a flyer at the point. Shot knocked down by a flyer. And they take it into the corner. Kiesel battling there. She comes out of there with the puck. She can't clear it, though. This time she golfs it forward, and it's going to be Klein that picks it up. It's stuck in Klein's feet. Klein gets it ahead to the blue line at least. They're going to circle back, come back the other way. They gain their red line, and now they wait. Dance come in down the far wall. They skate right through Dahl and Kiesel, shot into the near corner, where at that point player is going to dump it in deeper. Back out to Pete's. Pete's is going to turn. Pete's is going to dump it. It hit a flyer high, which prevented the icing, and that killed the penalty. So we're back in even strength as Dahl fans on it. Dahl turns it over in low. We're going to get a penalty here. It looks like it's going to be on the selects. It's going to be a hook. And it's going to be on Dylan Dahl. So Dahl's going to sit for a hook at 4:06 to go in this first period. And this penalty kill is going to be Clardy and Yenny with Zivkovic and Litz as Josh arrives with baby Johnny and Steph's mom. Puck dies on the dot. They battle there. Clardy pursuing. Clardy aggressively pursuing. Flyer coming down the wall, still with the puck. She shoots. Puck loose in front. Back door was open. That player could not get a stick on it as Clardy pushes it up the wall. This time it comes out. Flyers regroup at their blue line. They turn, dump it ahead. Second consecutive power play for them as they pick it up on the red line. They overskate it. Clardy can't get a stick on it, and here come the Flyers. They send it down the near wall in behind Kanachi, where Zivkovic's going to get there first, but the Flyers are going to take it off for center. That player could not get a stick on it. Loose down low. Yenny takes it off the stick over to the far wall. And this time it gets cleared back to neutral by Zivkovic. Flyers dump it, hits Litz high. Litz sends it to the point, but not out. They continue to battle on the wall. Flyers come out of there with it. Clardy poked it out. Now back to neutral. Flyers regroup. They send it up the wall. 24 seconds to go in the penalty to Dahl as they come in. Now we've got Stevens, Klein, Zivkovic, and Litz out here on the kill, and here comes Klein. Klein's got some space. She gets around one player. Stevens picks it up, comes back the other way. Stevens getting heavy pressure here, loses the puck at the blue line. With 9 seconds to go, that should just about kill the penalty as they come back the other way. Down the far wall, Klein separates that player from the puck. As she picks it up, tries to get it out, she can't. This time she does get it out. That kills the penalty. We're back to even strength. As Dahl jumps out of the box, and that dump hits Marshall in the chest. She knocks it down, picks it up, and comes up the near wall. She loses it to a Flyer in the corner. Chips it ahead to Stevens. Stevens battling. Puck lower. Turnover to a Flyer. Kanachi got something on that one, and it goes up high. And ends up in the protective netting. That puck squirted over to the far circle. Had a shot from there, and Kanachi got a piece of something on it and sent it way up high. And got it out of play and got a face-off over there. So we've got Walkoskis out here with Makasenka and Mrazek, and you've got Marshall and Howe on the back end. 2:15 to go, first period rather, as the Flyers have it in the far circle, or the far corner. Now Walkoskis picks it up. She backhands it up the wall to Makasenka. Walkoskis picks it up herself, sends it out. Mrazek got held up. And now we got the junior Flyers circling at the top of their defensive zone. Walkoskis applies a lot of pressure, but they clear it out. And Walkoskis, skating possessed, picks it back up, goes up the far wall. She skates around player there at the line, dumps it in. They send it up high in the air. Marshall knocks that down. Marshall, shot, far side. Over to Makasenka in that corner. Makasenka out front to Walkoskis. Walkoskis with the one-timer, missed to the near side. Mrazek backhands, can't get it up to the point. Goes over into the far, or in behind the net. I thought it went all the way over to the corner. There's some kids playing with the ball behind the net. I got a view of the wrong thing. So that comes back out to neutral where the Flyers pick it up. Mrazek turns. Got a chance to catch him in a change here, but didn't hurry enough as Walkoskis gets plastered into the wall. Comes back out to the point, and this could turn into a break. This girl is fast. Howe got a stick in there and poked it away. Now they got around Marshall. They come in, and Kanachi's a brick wall. She knocks it down in front of the net. Now they go back out to the far point. They send it over to the wall with 57 to go. This girl's quick. Makasenka puts a shoulder into her, directs it over to the point. Shot from there, knocked down by Walkoskis over into the near corner. They send it up the wall back to that point player. They send it low. Flyers. You got some pressure there as Walkoskis gets a stick on it. Sends it back, and that should die and prevent the icing. As we got 34 seconds to go as the Flyers pick it up behind their net. They bounce it up off the wall, and this one will be icing. And we'll come back down here with 25.9 left on the first period clock. Kinger, Panetta, and Peets out here with Dahl and Kiesel on the back end. We get a face-off here in the near circle with 26 left on the arena clock. Peets drops it for Panetta. Panetta puts it back to Kiesel. Kiesel tries to throw it into the net. It gets blocked as Dahl picks it up. Dahl turns, throws it towards Kiesel. Panetta sends it into the zone, and with 13 seconds to go, the Flyers send it back to neutral. They circle there, send it ahead. Peets cut that off. Peets puts it over for Panetta. With 5 to go, she dumps it into the zone. The Flyers are going to take it behind their net, and that'll do it for period number 1. We played one. Goals by Stevens and Peets has it 2-0 Selects. We'll be back for number 2. All right, the Junior Flyers have decided to make a goaltending change. So we got a new goalie to our left as Klein, Yenny Sherwood, Dahl, and Kiesel come out here for period number 2. Flyers are going to send it in deep behind the net here, and Kiesel around to Yenny. Yenny ahead to Sherwood. It's stuck in her feet. She didn't realize where it was. As Klein knocks it in, Yenny gets leveled at the blue line. Klein going to go beat and bang in the corner. You know that'll be a battle. They send it up the wall where the Flyers are going to pick it up. Send it ahead. Yenny can't turn in time to get a stick on it. Kiesel gets over there, chops it. Now Yenny. Flyers send it ahead, and it gains the zone as Klein turns. Sends it back the other way into a Flyer, which prevented the icing. That puck had good velocity on it as Sherwood loses an edge. Same place Stevens lost an edge yesterday. Maybe there's an imperfection in the ice there. Flyers shot. Kanachi gets the paddle on that one. Couldn't cover it with the glove as Dahl sends it up the wall. That'll get it out, and the Flyers are going to turn, pick it up, come back the other way, top of their defensive zone. That one gets through just about everybody. Kiesel stops it. Oh, Klein dropped it off and ends up right on the stick of a Flyer. She recovers, pushes that player to the corner, behind stripes, up the wall. Shot from there. Kanachi gets a piece of something on that, knocks it into the near corner. And now it's going to come back into the center. Backhand doesn't go anywhere. Loose in front of the net, backhand. Kanachi knocked that down as Kiesel came in and tackled that player. And that one comes out ahead to Yenny. Into the far corner. They beat and bang there a little bit. Up the wall. Litz holds the point. Fans on the shot. And the Flyers player backhands it out of the zone where Zivkovic's going to pick it up. Send it ahead too far for Mrazek. Flyers send it back the other way, and Makasenka bangs it off the wall over to Zivkovic. Zivkovic looking, surveying, tried to put it through, couldn't get it across that Flyers stick. And here comes that player. Litz stops it with her skate. Makasenka swipes at it, can't get it out. Now Litz picks it up on the half wall. Litz turns, throws it up the wall. Flyers bench area there, off Stripes' skates. Zivkovic sends it up the wall. Mrazek, too far for her. Flyers hold the point, send it in deeper. Goes in behind the net now. They chip it back the other way. Mrazek should be able to pick that up and get it out. Mrazek does pick it up, and here she comes up the near wall. Mrazek gains the line, dumps it. They got to go battle behind the net. It pushes off Walkoskis. Walkoskis shot, knocked down. Mrazek chips in there. Still loose. It's loose and fit. Makasenka had the back door open, and that goalie made a tremendous save. That puck drifted over to Makasenka, and that goalie got back into position and made a tremendous save. That back door was, in fact, open. Just couldn't put it home. She scrambled across quick, and we're going to get a face-off here. Klein, Stevens, Claherty, Howe, and Marshall. As Klein's going to step in and take this one and knock it into the corner. Goes up the wall, and Marshall tries to hold, does, recovers, throws it in. Stevens there, can't get a stick on it. They take it away from her and send it up the far wall. This time it's going to get by Marshall. Howe's going to recover, pick it up there, come up the near wall. Howe puts it ahead, missed Stevens, and it's going to go into the far corner where Klein is going to skate over. Klein picks it up, sends it around behind the net. It's too far for Stevens, centered! Claherty couldn't get her stick on it. She saw her coming, couldn't get her stick on it. And now Klein turns and picks it up. Klein gets tripped. No call. Up ahead to Claherty, who gets shouldered at the line. Claherty dumps it in. And they golf it back out. And now that puck's going to drift all the way to the end line where Marshall's going to pick it up behind Kanachi. Marshall stops, turns on a dime, comes back up the near wall. She bounces it up off the wall. Too far for Stevens. Gets it back to neutral ice. D-to-D pass by the Flyers, and they're going to go in past Klein on the far wall where Marshall's going to pick it up. Try to send it out, can't. They are disciplined on that wall. Centering pass, open player. Klein got a stick in there, another open player. Backhand, Kanachi gloves that one. And with 12-17, we're going to get a draw in our defensive zone. Looks like we're going to get some new players here. Panetta, Peets, and Kanger out here now with Dahl and Kiesel. 24 of you on a Sunday morning, for which, as you know, I'm always grateful that you take the time to watch this amateur broadcast of your children and grandchildren. As that puck's on the far wall, Peets takes a shoulder from Kiesel. It was inadvertent. They were just battling for the puck, and now Panetta. Panetta ahead to Kanger, too far. They chip it back the other way. Flyers have it on the blue line there in front of the selects bench. Panetta battling. Panetta sends it in clean, and it's going to bounce into the near corner where Kanger's going to pick it up. She's going to send it down deeper, and Peets, now Kanger. Kanger up the wall for Dahl. Dahl, bobbling it a little bit, sends it back down the wall into that corner where Kanger and Peets are going to go battle. They send it in front. It's loose. Panetta! Panetta got a stick on it, couldn't put it in. It's loose in the far corner now. Panetta had it beaten and banging in front of the net, couldn't bury it home. It was clearly heavy traffic, but those are the scrappy goals that we like to see as Dahl picks it up behind the net. Catch the Flyers in a change. They didn't hurry, though. Dahl sends it ahead to Peets, too far. Flyers pick that up. They're going to battle here along the wall as they're playing music during the game for some unknown reason. As the Flyers send it ahead. Now Kiesel's going to chase this down in the far corner. Kiesel up ahead to Yenny. Sherwood fell down. No, we're going to get a penalty on that. So Klein's going to chase it down, but in reality, Klein gets plastered into the wall, and the Flyers touch it up. We're going to get at least one here. Let's see. We'll get at least one here. Oh, wait, he might want another one. Oh, no, he wanted a different player. Okay. So he's bringing over a different player from the Flyers, putting her in the box. And he's calling her for interference. So we're going to get a power play here. Yenny, Sherwood, and Klein with Zivkovic and Litz on the back end. As the puck goes into the corner, Flyers pick it up there. They turn, take it up the far wall. Chip it up that wall. Litz knocks it down, sends it in deeper. Sherwood's going to go do some work behind the net. She bangs it back around to the far corner to Yenny. Yenny backhands it in front of the net. Nobody there. Sherwood will go dig it out in the near corner. Sherwood behind the net to Klein. Klein looking for a center, sends it out to Litz. Litz in very deep, sends it back to Klein. Klein puts it in front. Zivkovic knocked that down. It's going to turn into a breakaway. Here come the Flyers. Litz needs to hurry. She's going to get there, cut off the angle. Nice play by Jordy Litz. She hurried up and got in there and cut off the angle. And here she comes back the other way. Sent it up ahead to Sherwood. It hit a Flyer, and Sherwood golfs it into the zone. And they're going to go for a change. So with 47 seconds to go, we got half the power play over. Walkoskis, Mrazek, Makasenka come out now. Puck ahead, tipped off a Flyer stick. Zivkovic and Litz on the back end here as Walkoskis picks it up behind Kanachi. They catch him in a change, but they're not quick enough to do it as she puts it up to Mrazek, and they're going to be offsides by a country mile. The Flyers have been a little sloppy with changes here in the second period, and there's a chance to catch them, but our defensive players are not seeing it. Fans are yelling for it, and they're not seeing it. So we got Walkoskis, Mrazek, and Makasenka out here now with Marshall and Howe. They're going to bring this one all the way back down. They're going to call that deliberate. Bring it all the way back down. And we're going to draw here in our defensive zone. 29 seconds to go in the penalty. Power play for the Selects. Puck died on the dot. Walkoskis sent it over to Howe. Howe battling hard on the wall. Howe puts it out into the center. And Marshall picks it up. Marshall up the far wall, looking for a pass. Puts it across to Mrazek. Mrazek drops it for Walkoskis. Walkoskis shoots, bouncing puck. Goes over to the near wall. Howe stops, turns, holds. Howe's going to shoot it from there. Goaltender's going to glove that one. And with 9:23, 5 seconds to go in the penalty, we're going to get one more face-off on this power play. And that will do it for it. Again, wholesale change. Clardy, Klein, Stevens. Oh, no, we're going to keep the back end, Marshall and Howe. So we're going to go with Clardy, Klein, and Stevens for this face-off. Near circle, left side on your screen, right of the Flyers goaltender. They put it over to Stevens. Stevens skates out, tried to put it into the center, got tipped. Marshall skates over and holds it. Marshall throws it in deep behind the net. Flyers get there first as Clardy upends a player behind the net. Klein beating and banging. You know she's always good for a wall battle. They poke it out. Clardy. We're going to get some sort of a penalty here. It's going to be a rough, and it's going to be on Klein. So Klein's going to go sit for a rough. 9:06 in the second. We're going to go down here for a penalty kill face-off in our defensive zone. Stevens and Clardy, Howe and Marshall have the task of killing the penalty. Howe and Marshall have been out here for a while. Interesting that they didn't swap them out. And Clardy takes this draw, gets it over to Marshall, who loses it. Flyers low, center. Stevens cuts that off, throws it to the wall, back to Marshall. Marshall chips it out. Or I'm sorry, that's Clardy. Clardy chips it out, gains the red line and dumps it as they're going to go dig it out behind the net now, Flyers. Stevens applies some pressure. Flyers up the near wall. Howe picks it up, sends it in, but Stevens was in pretty deep and hadn't cleared, and that's going to be an offsides. So we'll come here to the near dot. Whatever that music player did to play the music during the game, she hasn't played any since. And just as I say that, she's trying to start it again. So she's clearly having trouble with her music over there today. And we've got Walkoskis and Peets and Dahl and looks like Kiesel out here to kill the rest of this penalty. 1:02 to go. Walkoskis backhands it. Flyer took it off her. She turns, gets it on her forehand. She's still battling. Flyers dump it ahead. Dahl throws it weakly up the wall, which is a good play as the Flyers are going to have to regroup. They regroup, send it up ahead. Dahl applies some pressure. And here come the Flyers back the other way. Pete steps over, it gets by her. It's going to go in behind Kanachi in the near corner. Centering pass knocked down by Peets. Peets golfs it out of the zone. And Walkoskis skating hard. Puck back to neutral ice. Flyers up the far wall. Walkoskis whacks at it. They drop it. Shot from there. Kanachi gets something on it. Knocks it into the far corner. Flyers behind the net. They kick. They beat. They bang. Kiesel chopping away at it. Loose in front. Kanachi dives and covers that one up as a player went in on her hard and ended up on her bum too. Kanachi dives and gets some equipment on top of it, and that's good enough for a whistle. So with 14 seconds to go in the roughing penalty decline, we'll get a wholesale change. Zivkovic, Litz, King, and Panetta come out here to kill this remaining 14 seconds of the Klein roughing penalty. And Panetta's going to take this draw. She puts it over to Litz. Litz behind the net skating. She's going to come most likely up the wall to King. She does. King bobbles a little bit. Oh, turnover right in the circles. Centering pass. Kanachi bails her out, sends it over into the near corner as Flyers player falls down. No call. Here comes Panetta. Panetta skating. Panetta had Klein coming out of the box. Didn't see her as they battle on the near wall. This puck's going to go into the near corner. Klein's going to go battle behind. Panetta picks it up on the corner. Panetta stops, turns, surveys, sends it in front. It goes through everybody out to the point to Litz. Litz is going to send it in front of the net. Goalie knocks that down. It's loose. They're beating. They're banging. Klein, 2 shots, 2 saves. Klein throws it in behind the net. Those are the scrappy plays in front. We've had a bunch of them this weekend. Panetta tries to bang. Can't get it in. Zivkovic throws it into the far corner where Klein's going to go to work. Klein picks it up there, sends it in behind the net. Panetta near corner. Panetta up to the point to Zivkovic. Zivkovic shot from the point, bouncing puck. Goaltender knocked that to the corner. It's in behind the net. Reverse direction. Up the wall. High off the glass. It gets by Zivkovic. And this could turn into a break. Litz has to hurry. If you get a shot off there, Jovi knocks it out of the way with her blocker. Klein picks it up in front of the Flyers bench. They're in a change. We could catch them with too many here. They stopped. As Panetta tried to dance by. Aaron Dull just yelled, he's from West Virginia, and he knows that was too many. Klein has to wait, and Panetta was changing. And that's the danger of the second period change, as they caught her going to the bench on the second period change, as our parents are laughing at Aaron's comment. So Stripes will bring it back to center ice, 6:20 second period, 2-0 Selects. Claherty, Yenny, and Sherwood out here with Howe and Marshall. As the Flyers pick it up off the face-off, come up the far wall. Escape by Yenny. They chip it by Marshall. Pick it up behind the net, Howe. Howe put the stick in there. Back to the near point. Shot. Gets all the way through. Kanachi pushes that to the far wall. Howe skates over, applies some pressure. Flyers have it again. Centering pass got tipped. Marshall picks it up behind the wall. Or behind the net, rather. Marshall loses it in front. Kanachi has to whack at it to get it behind the goal line. As Howe's holding it on the wall, Claherty comes in to help. Claherty comes out of there with it. Here she comes up the center. Claherty with Sherwood ahead of her. And here comes Claherty. Claherty still dancing with it. Claherty shot. Got deflected. Goes below the end line there to the far wall, up the wall. Marshall, they skate right by her. Howe's going to hurry back. Push this player to the wall. Centering pass, nobody there, over to the near wall, where the Flyers are going to chip it in deeper. Howe's going to pick it up in the corner. Howe's got some room. She's surveying. She's looking. Gets it ahead to Yenny. Yenny loses it. Puck comes down the near wall into the corner. Flyers are going to get there first, take it behind their own goaltender. Flyers up the wall hard. They get it ahead to this number 23. She's a quick one. She skates right around Marshall. Gets in. Shot. Kanachi knocked that down. That goes to the end wall. Howe picks it up. They battle behind there. Behind there in the corner now. Howe fell down. Walkoskis jumps. You got Howe and Walkoskis and 2 Flyers battling in the corner. They're digging for the puck. Lots of pushing, lots of shoving, lots of sticks, lots of feet. They continue to battle. And Howe comes out of there with it. Howe looking ahead. Tried to get it up to Makasenka. Couldn't get it through. Flyers pick it up, come back the other way. This is the fast girl. She comes around, gets into the center. Kanachi gloves that one. And with 4:27 to go, we'll get a face-off in what should be the far circle. So I see Peets, Panetta, and Kinger coming out here with Dull and Kiesel on the back. Complete changeover of personnel here for the Selects. 21-8 shots on the board. That's first time all weekend that part of the ledger has tilted in our favor. As Peets picks it up, she's going to skate it out of the zone. Peets up the far wall. She chips it by a Flyers player. Going to do the chip and chase. She gets there, throws it in front. Puck was loose in front. Goaltender gets a cover on it. As Panetta's beating and banging in front of the net, Flyer took offense. Whistle hadn't yet blown, so Josie's poking with the stick like she's supposed to. And she took offense to it. So we are going to get a change. Now wait, now Stripes is saying no. I'm not sure why he's not letting him change. So Josie clearly wants off, and the Stripes won't let her. So as minute the play starts, Josie comes off, and Claherty comes on. So we have Claherty, Peets, and Kinger out here now with Kiesel and Dahl. I don't quite know why they wouldn't let him change. Dahl shoots, gets knocked down by a Flyer. Yet another Stripes situation here in Philadelphia as the Flyers come up the near wall. We got Kiesel back by herself. They took a shot, and they glove it. Oh, and they come in and hit Canacci. And you know that Kiesel and Dahl aren't going to allow that to happen. He came in and went up high on Canacci, and Kiesel took offense to that. So we're going to get Stevens out here with Klein and Claherty now. They finally got it all settled with Zivkovic and Litz on the back end. Face off in our defensive zone. Flyers shoot, gets all the way through. Canacci gets that with a pad, sends it over the wall. Stevens can't get a stick on it. Flyers come back the other way, dancing along the end line. This player's pretty good. She puts it back to the high point. They throw it in behind the net, where the Flyers are going to pick it up in the near corner. They're going to send it out to the far point now, where Claherty's going to pursue it. Klein behind the net. You know they're going to battle back there. Litz joins in. They send it up the wall to Claherty. Claherty's going to skate it. She at least gets it back to neutral. As Stevens tries some pressure, doesn't work. Klein knocks it out. They battle along the wall here, Claherty and Klein. Stevens chips it ahead, gets it to Claherty. Claherty comes up the near wall. They take it away from her, send it back to neutral. And as they poke it in, Claherty was offsides. So somehow I'm way ahead on the clock here. They're at 3:16 in the arena. I'm at 3 minutes. As I always tell you, amateur production. So I'll get it back in line here. Try to keep an eye on it. We've got, let's see here, Yenny, Sherwood, and Klein out here with Howe and Marshall. I'm going to hold the clock to get back in sync. As they poke it back to neutral, Flyers come up the near wall, chip it by Howe. Marshall's going to go chase this down in the corner. 3:07. Marshall sends it around for Klein. Klein beats and bangs. The Flyers hold it. Howe. And now I am back in sync. As they put it ahead to Klein. They got it in clean, and they struggled because they were discombobulated at the blue line, and the Flyers chip it back. Marshall sends it ahead to a Flyer, couldn't get it through. Marshall stops, turns, Flyers take it off her, come down the near wall. They get a shot off. Canacci gets a piece of something on it, sends it up high. Howe throws it to the corner. Point, they throw it in deeper, where Klein's going to go to work behind the net. Howe's going to come out of there with it. Howe ahead to Sherwood, to the point, shot, knocked down by Klein. Klein picks it up, and here she comes. We got 3 Flyers trapped. We got to hurry here. Klein gains the red line and dumps it as she takes a shoulder, heads to the bench. It's in the far corner. Flyers player fell down. Yenny gets over there. Flyers player fell on the puck, so Yenny couldn't do much with it. Walkoskis now Yenny. Yenny tried to center. Nobody there. Flyers tip it in on their own goalie. She had to make a save on her own defensive player. Over to the near corner, Howe. Howe throws it off the side of the goal. Flyers throw it into the near corner. And they beat and bang there a little bit. Howe throws it in deeper. Walkoskis up high, covering Howe. Makasenka still in deep. That puck loose, and they're going to send it ahead. Marshall tipped it. Needs to hurry. She does. Sends it back the other way. And Walkoskis picks it up. Now they chip it back the other way. They're going to send it in, and that's going to be the Flyers. Offsides with 1:38. Shots 24-8, and actually I was backwards. The Flyers are out shooting us 24-8. We're not out shooting them. I had that wrong earlier. Just another sign of the amateur nature of this broadcast. Can't even read the scoreboard this early on a Sunday. As the Flyers pull it back on that draw. They send it ahead. Kiesel chipped it, can't get it out. Flyers. Center. It's loose in front, and it's going to be Kinger that picks it up. Kinger up the far wall. Kinger loses it off a flyer skate. Kiesel sends it ahead to King. King chips it into the zone and loses it as they battle along the wall. And here come the Flyers back the other way. And once again, I didn't start the clock. So I'll get that fixed in the next break. We're down to 109. I'm all messed up here now. Dahl throws it ahead, too far for Panetta. Panetta's going to go chase it down in the corner. She sends it in front to Peets. Peets couldn't handle it. And here come the Flyers back the other way. 56. I will get back in line in the next break as the Flyers come down the wall. Flyers, they battle there, and Kiesel's going to go chase down behind Canacci. She chips it around to King. King, they look a little lifeless right now, I've got to be honest with you. And this time it comes out back to the Flyers at neutral, and they dump it in Dahl. Dahl's going to pick it up, send it. She lost it to a Flyer who sends it deeper with 28 seconds to go. And Kiesel throws it around to Clardy. It comes out past Klein. And Clardy picked that up on a turnover, got it into the zone, but they're going to battle there. Clardy took the worst of that and ended up on the ice, no call. Flyers, cut off, cross pass cut off by Klein. Here comes Stevens. Stevens with Clardy. Stevens puts it to Clardy with 6 seconds to go. My time is not accurate. Clardy dumps it in behind the net with 3 to go. Stevens battling back there, throws it in front, and that's going to do it. That is the end of period number 2, despite my poor clock management. Call me Mike Tomlin. And we will come out for period number 3. I'll be back. So we got Clardy coming out here with Yenny and let's see the far side there. Looks like Sherwood. Zivkovic and Litz on the back end as we drop the face-off for period number 3. Flyers come out of there with it. Flyers up the near wall. Litz sends it ahead. Too far for Clardy. Flyers pick it up there. They send it up the wall. And they bounce it all the way in. It goes behind Canacci, and Litz is going to go dig it out. Flyers come out of there with it. Come up the far wall, back to the far point, shot, knocked down by somebody as Zivkovic tried to put it ahead to Yenny. Yenny got it out. There's a pile of humanity in the zone. Tangled up, and that's going to be offsides as the pile had not yet untangled. Heather called it a cuddle puddle, which is a little odd, but we'll let her go with that. So we're going to bring out Walkoskis, Mrazek, and Makasenka, with Marshall and Howe on the back end here. 15-29 third. 24-8 in favor of the Flyers on the shots. Our girls golfed it in. Now they called no icing. And it's going to go in behind into the corner where Walkoskis is going to battle. This time it's going to come back the other way. And this one will be an icing. With 15-14 to go, we'll come back down here. Josh wanted to do a commercial, but then it looks like he went and got some food in the period break. What's that? Oh, he had to go get a hat for the baby, so he couldn't do the commercial. We'll get him next game. He had to go out to the car and get a hat for the baby. It's 104 below zero here in the arena. in Philly. They installed the gas pipe for the heater, but never put the heaters in. As that puck comes in on the goalie, it's loose in front. They're scrapping. I'm talking about the heaters, and they're scrapping in front of the net. Back to the point, Marshall. Marshall got attacked from behind and lost the puck. This number 23 is quite the player. As Howe chips it, and it comes out. Makasenka couldn't get a stick on that one as they go D to D. They backhanded ahead. Walkoskis stands that player up at the line. Two Flyers collide, and Walkoskis comes out of there with the puck. Here she comes up the near wall. Walkoskis, a little bit of room, not much. Loses the puck into the near corner. Walkoskis falls down. They battle, a couple of Flyers and Walkoskis. They battle through the corner, and the Flyers are going to come out with it behind the net as Mrazek gets run into it, neutralized. Marshall cuts that off, waits for the zone to clear. Marshall skates it in. Marshall dancing, skating, losing the puck in the center there. It's a pile of humanity. Walkoskis battling with a couple of Flyers, and they come out of there with the puck. They chop it over to the near wall, or far wall rather, where Marshall's going to pick it up while they go for a change. Marshall up to Makasenka. Makasenka up the near wall. She dumps it in behind the net, and she's going to go for a change. See Stevens out here with Klein, and when Makasenka hits the bench, that should let Clawhardy come out. It does. Kiesel throws it on net, knocked down by a Flyers defensive player. Stevens applies pressure. She picks up the puck, gets it over to Clawhardy. Clawhardy and Klein collide. Puck goes into the corner, where it's only Flyers deep. Comes up the wall to the point to Dahl. Dahl throws it down behind the net. And Malia goes down. Clawhardy goes down to try to pick that one up. Didn't work. Here come the Flyers as Klein gets tripped up on the red line, and she goes down, pucking behind the net. Now Dahl up for Stevens. Stevens battling along the wall. Loses it to a Flyer. Stevens battling again. She clears it. Ahead to Clawhardy. Clawhardy flipped it up. Now here she comes. She loses it. They all overskate. Puck hasn't moved. Puck still hasn't moved. Stevens gets leveled. And the puck didn't move that entire time. Stevens goes to the bench. Collision with a Flyer. And now the puck's in the near corner. Flyers bank it off the wall past Kiesel, and it's a race. Kanachi gloved it. And with 12:51 in the third, it remains 2-0 Selects on goals by Stevens and Peets. 25-10 in favor of the Flyers on the shot board. As this faceoff comes back to the point, falls in behind the goal line. Litz chips it up the wall. Flyers hold it at the point. They skate in. This girl's quick shot. Kanachi gloves that one. 12:38. So Angelo likes the Tomlin reference. Crystal wanted the commercial from Josh. The baby needed her hat more than we needed that commercial. So we're going to get this face-off. Flyers come out of there with it again. Panetta chips it. It comes out back to neutral. Flyers turn. They chip it ahead. Collision at the line. That was Peets. It's King. King ahead to Peets. Peets up the far wall. She's got a little bit of room. Flyers regroup. Peets dumps it behind the net. Takes an odd bounce off. It's loose in front. It's loose on the goal mouth. Flyers clear it off and send it back to center, where Litz is going to pick it up. Litz sends it across for Zivkovic. Zivkovic to Kinger. Kinger loses the puck in front of the Flyers bench. Zivkovic chips it ahead. Flyers regain. Here they come down the far wall. They got a player in the middle. Shot. Rebound. Kanachi covers that one up and dives on it. And we get a little post-dive collection of bodies in front of Kanachi. She picks up all of her goaltending equipment. And we've got, looks like Sherwood out here with Clawhardy and Yenny. Marshall and Howe on the back. Sherwood sends it up the wall, but not out at the point. They hold that far point. Flyers down the half wall, put it in front. Marshall sends it to the near wall. Marshall up that near wall, can't get it by that Flyers player. It comes to the point, this time it does come out Clawhardy. Clawhardy can't get it by him. Flyers regroup, Yenny poking and digging. Flyers gain the zone, center of the circles, come across, shoot, miss badly to the far side. Howe picks it up with 11:28 to go. Howe sends it up the wall to Yenny. Yenny pokes it out. It's loose, back to the top of the zone. Cut off almost by Sherwood, but not quite. Lots of snow in front of the benches as the junior Flyer player pokes it ahead. This time it goes into the far corner where Marshall's going to dig it out behind the net. So much snow along the boards. Puck's just down. Oh, Marshall comes right back in front of her own net. Dangerous play. She regains, sends it up to Yenny. Yenny puts it ahead to Clardy. Clardy up the near wall. Heavy pressure. Clardy comes out of there with it. Clardy, bad angle shot. It was loose in front. Makasenka couldn't get a stick on it. Goalie gave up a rebound, and Makasenka was in heavy traffic and couldn't get a stick down. They dump it down the near wall. They're going to go for a change as they get a player on it. Howe comes in behind the net, pursued by a Flyer. Howe bounces it off the wall, gets it out. They continue to beat bang. Howe and Mrazek have a Flyer plastered. Now we've got Walkoskis surgically poking. Walkoskis comes out of there with it. Walkoskis skates over to the far wall. Walkoskis around Makasenka. Walkoskis around the Flyer player. They go into the corner. The Flyer falls down. Walkoskis continues to battle. Makasenka joins her. Another Flyer falls down. Walkoskis battles, throws it in front. Goaltender sends it over to the near wall. Flyers come up the near wall. This is at number 23. She's quick. She skates by Marshall. Centers it. Flyer open. Couldn't handle it. Puck loose. Kanachi pushed that to the far wall. Walkoskis clears it. That was a quick bang-bang play as Makasenka turns with it. Makasenka coming up the near wall. Drops it off. Flyers pick it up, come back the other way. Where they pick it up off the line. It looked offsides to me. They poke it out. Here comes Kylie. Kylie picks it up, dumps it as she goes for a change after a long shift. Stevens comes out here with Klein. And Clardy as the Flyers come up the near wall. This number 23 is quick. Dull, don't underestimate her. She tried to center, Dull cut it off. Kiesel tried to dump it for Klein, couldn't. They battle on the wall. Kiesel battling. Kiesel knocks her over, and she's going to get a penalty for that. She knocked her over on the wall as that puck goes down into the corner. And when she touches it up, Miss Kiesel's going to go to the bin for roughing along the wall. They've been beating and banging on the boards all game. And she's going to sit with 9:16 to go in this third. And we'll see who they send out to kill this one. Looks like it's going to stay Stevens and Clardy with Klein, and we definitely have too many here. So Klein's going to head off. Stevens and Clardy, Zivkovic and Litz. Far circle face-off. Clardy's going to take this one. It comes across to Zivkovic, back to Clardy. She loses a handle on it. They send it in. It misses to the near side where Litz is going to pick it up, send it around behind the net. Zivkovic needs to hurry to get there. She does. She sends it ahead. It comes all the way through. Flyers knock it down. Clardy tried to pick it off, couldn't. She skates over there and gets it. She knocks it in deeper. She's having trouble getting her footing. She does. They're going to beat and bang in the corner. That's good penalty kill time. Flyers have it behind their own goaltender. Looking for the up pass. They bounce it off the wall. They get behind everybody here as Zivkovic hurries to get back. They try to center. Let's cut that off right to a Flyer coming up the point. Going to get a shot off there. Kanachi pushes it into the near corner. Flyers have it near corner. 51 seconds to go in the penalty. They put it back to the near point. They put it down the wall. Flyers going to change at least one player. They're going to dump it in behind. Litz sends it around. Zivkovic. Zivkovic can't chop it up the wall. Zivkovic just holds it there, sends it up the wall for Stevens. Stevens backhands it up the wall, but not out. Now it's in her feet. They get it ahead, Clardy. Clardy can't chip it out. Stevens can't chip it out. Zivkovic finally clears it. Flyers tip it, and it'll come all the way back down with 14 seconds to go. We'll get a wholesale change on the kill. I see Klein, I see Peets. I see Marshall and Howe as the Flyers come up the near wall. They gain the red line and dump it with 5 seconds to go. Goes around to the far corner. Howe gets there first. She takes it behind the net. Penalty over. They battle. It's loose. Kanachi covered that one. There's 7:41 left in the third. We will get a draw in the far circle. Panetta, Klein, and Peets. King, Marshall, Howe. That's too many. Klein's going to go off. Panetta, Peets, and King. Marshall and Howe. Peets. Howe back to the point, but not out. Down the wall. This time Howe's going to come out of there with it. She will get it out. Barely. As they chip it back, Howe picks it up, sends it back up the wall. They continue to battle right here in front of me. Elbow from the Flyer player. Flyer player from the point. Shot knocked down by Marshall. Into the corner. Marshall beating and banging. Marshall has position this time. Peets joins the battle. Goes in behind the net. Over to the far corner. It's loose in front. Panetta picks it up. Panetta with Kinger. She's got Marshall trailing. Panetta up the far wall. Over to King. King with the shot. Goalie saw the rebound. It's loose in front. They're beating. They're banging. Goalie covers it. Panetta getting a little rough in front. Goalie covered that one. 7:01. Third period. Yenny, Claherty, Sherwood. Kiesel and Dahl. Far circle. Claherty dies on the circle, goes over to the wall. Sherwood can't get there. Flyers pick it up on that wall. They send it up the wall. They get by Dahl. Here they come. They poke it ahead. Oh, this girl's quick, but I think it's going to go to the end line before she gets there. They're going to battle behind the net. Dahl. Flyers come out with it. It's a player in front. Got to get her out of there. Puck loose in front. Kiesel, or Yenny rather, sends it to the wall. Into the corner. Puck loose. Sherwood. Sherwood tried to put it ahead to Claherty. Couldn't get it through as the Flyers player gets tripped up. Kiesel. Kiesel behind the net. Flyers player fell on her own this time. Up ahead to Yenny. Yenny ahead to Claherty. Claherty coming through the zone here, up the near wall. She gains the blue line, dumps it behind the net. Goes all the way around. Sherwood had fallen down, so she couldn't get over there to get it. Puck loose, Sherwood cut that off. Sherwood sends it in deeper. Flyers in front of their own net. Bounce it up the wall. It gets by Kiesel. Yenny sends it back in. Gets by Claherty. Back to neutral. Makasenka carries it in down the near wall. They beat and bang in battle. They're going to catch us in a change if we're not hurt, if we're not careful here. Kiesel picks it up blue line. Kiesel across to Dahl. Dahl ahead to Mrazek. Mrazek ahead to Claherty. Claherty beating and banging. It comes back to the point. You can hear the stick-on-stick action there as the Flyers come up the near wall. Shot. Kanachi. Glove. 5:34. 30-12 on the shot board. 31-12 on the shot board. The only one that matters right now, though, is 2-0. Mrazek, looks like Makasenka's heading off. Mrazek, Klein, Walkoskis, Zivkovic and Litz as Klein comes up the far wall, gets a shoulder, dumps it. Can't quite hold it. Comes out of the point, Zivkovic. Zivkovic back to Walkoskis. Walkoskis right into Zivkovic's leg pads. Klein overskates. They come back the other way. Flyers. Flyers chip it by Walkoskis. Zivkovic steps up. Stops the player, but not the puck. Mrazek can't get it out. Here they come down the far wall, right in front of the bench. They golf it down that far wall, Walkoskis. Walkoskis turns, sends it up ahead. It gets stuck in Zivkovic's feet. Mrazek comes over to battle. They throw it in deeper. Flyers player falls down. Litz turns it over behind the net. Flyers have it. Now Litz sends it over to Walkoskis. Walkoskis puts it across for Klein, too far. Klein tipped it, but it's going to be slow enough that it won't be an icing. Klein holds it on the wall. Klein throws it on the net. Goaltender golfs that one to the back of the wall. Flyers near corner. Stevens pokes. They send it up ahead. Flyers player lost the stick. Litz over to Stevens. Stevens up the wall. Stevens gains the line, dumps it. Flyers in the near corner. Flyers up the near wall. 4:19 to go. Litz bodies that player. Claherty. Stripes in the way. Flyers pick it up. Skate around Litz. Put it in front. Litz block that one. Put it in front again. Kanachi. It's loose. Kanachi. It's still loose. Puck's still loose. They're beating. They're banging. They're diving. They're flopping. Somebody needs to fall down and cover that puck. Puck is still loose. Kanachi lost her paddle. They need to get that out of there. And it does come out as Kanachi's scrambling to pick up her paddle. Stevens cuts that off. And they're going to be offsides. So there was a scrap in front of that net. Kanachi hung in there, had lost her paddle, kept beating and banging, trying to get something on it, never did, and they cleared it out of there. Peets, Yenny, Kinger, Marshall and Howe. Stripes dropped his whistle. King, Yenny. Here come the Flyers back the other way. Up the near wall. Flyers stopping, turning, shooting. Kanachi gloving. 3:36. 34-13 on the shots. Peets. They battle in the circle. Peets knocked her over. We've seen that move before. Kinger up the far wall. Leaves it for Yenny. Yenny loses it at the blue line. Flyers turning. Marshall. Yenny. Now back to Peets. Peets up ahead to Yenny. They battle on the wall. Right in front of us here. Peets pokes it ahead. Flyers. Now ahead to Dahl. Or I'm sorry, Howe. Howe throws it into the corner. 3:02. King. Shoulders behind the net. Flyers up the far wall. Howe steps up. Loses her, I'm sorry, that was Walkoskis that lost the stick. Kinger can't stop the puck. Here come the Flyers the other way. Yenny gets a stick in there. Marshall stops, turns. It hit Yenny's skates. King gets it out. Here comes Kinger. Kinger over to Walkoskis. Walkoskis has some room. There's a lot of Flyers back, though, as King was offsides as Walkoskis danced at the blue line, and those dances always cause you trouble. And now we've got Walkoskis out here with Mrazek, Makasenka, Dahl and Kiesel on the back end. 2:36 to go on the arena clock. 2-0 Selects. Walkoskis. Walkoskis puts it over to the wall. Back to Dahl. Dahl surveying. Looking ahead. Tried to get it ahead to Mrazek. Did. She chipped it into the zone. Flyers chip it back out. They battle along the wall. Walkoskis is standing in front of the bench. Gains the zone. Makasenka's going to pursue. Can't quite get there. Makasenka needs to get out. Mrazek's feet. Flyers chip it by her. They chip it in down the wall. Kiesel sends it back the other way. Back to neutral. Head pass. Dahl can't cut that one off. All the way into the corner. Kiesel's whacking. Dahl's whacking. They're battling in the corner. Walkoskis is going to come out of there with it. Walkoskis skates it up the far wall. Get the red line and dump it maybe. We'll see what happens. She gets the blue line. Ties it up on the wall. Walkoskis gets knocked down. Flyers player goes tumbling. Flyers get to the red line, forget the puck. They try to dump it. It hits Dahl's feet. Dahl, pass across. We're going to get a lazy bouncer, which will be no icing with 1:38 to go. Flyers up ahead. Stevens cuts that off. Stevens down the wall. Stevens can't get a shot off as that puck goes into the corner. Stevens beating and banging. Puck loose in the center. Clawhardy. Clawhardy tries to regroup, can't. Sends it back to Kiesel. Kiesel throws it in front of the net. Stevens got a tip on it, didn't go anywhere. Into the corner, Stevens centers it. Comes through the goal mouth, and it's down behind the net now. As it goes over to the near wall. Klein's going to battle. 1:12. They battle there as Kiesel holds the point. Sends it across to Clawhardy. Clawhardy rips a shot from there. High, misses near side. Into the corner. Flyers in the corner. They send it ahead. Puck dies on the blue line as Clawhardy comes up and pressures and holds it. 50 seconds to go in the game. They skate around Stevens. Here they come up the far wall. Stevens to the bench. Dahl, shot. Kanachi gloves that one. Covers it up. And with 41 seconds to go, we're going to get a face-off in our defensive zone in the far circle. Zivkovic, Litz, Panetta, Kiesel, or Panetta, King, and Peets. Peets is going to step in for this draw. Peets. Puck dies. Zivkovic. Zivkovic chips it to the point. They can't get it out. Shot from there. Kanachi gloves it. 35 to go. We get another draw. Same player, same circle, different time on the clock. Peets. You can hear the Zamboni starting. All we need now is the fat lady to start singing. Into the corner. Tana loves my jokes. 26 to go. Panetta. Flyers dance with it. Come in. Oh, Litz with a big shoulder. Knock that player off the puck. Peets. Peets is going to get it up ahead to Kinger. Kinger will get it out, gain the red line. Kinger gains the blue line. Dumps it deep with 13 to go. That should just about do it as Peets is going to go to battle in the corner. As they tie that puck up to there, they're going to battle on the end line. They're going to send it ahead. And here come the Flyers with 3 to go. 2 to go. And that's going to do it. Your Steel City Selects came in against the better-ranked Flyers team. Took 2 on the road out of 3. The third one being a shutout. They were shut out, or they were outshot in all 3 games. Kanachi stood on her head for the 2 that she won. I'll bring you the handshake action, and then it's turnpike time. Coming home 2-1, which we will take. And we will see you the next time we are back in action. Check your schedules. Have a good rest of your Sunday.